into the fade, aren't we?
What the hell is this?
We'll need someone with fire.
Stop this demon quickly.
This cannot be happening right now. I need you to fix this.
You have no idea what you have done. The blighted elven gods walk free. All because you disrupted my ritual.
And you don't know when to quit.
These are the times in which legends are born or slain.
You crazy son of a bitch, you're dead.
Dragon Age the Veilguard looks pretty good. Now, while I'm not a fan of the art style per se, and the purple coloring I don't really vibe with as much as Inquisition's green, but I do think that Dragon Age the Veilguard does seem like that Bioware is trying to make a traditional RPG. Now, is it gonna be a great Dragon Age game? I don't know about that. I'm very interested in the story, but gameplay-wise, it is very different from the previous games. I think it's very much in the league of Dragon Age 2. Now, I do also want to, state this, that I am not a big fan of the combat style in Inquisition. I know a lot of fans like Inquisition's gameplay, but for me, I found it a bit too slow. My favorite combat system in Dragon Age is Dragon Age Origin. That being said, this is a very big departure from Origins, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just very different.
What in horror? The ritual!
This is good shit.
That is awesome!
Also, let's be honest, Dragon Age the Veilguard's first introduction with its teaser was a shit show. I mean, let's be real, it was terrible. Everyone on the internet mocked it, no one liked it, and then they followed up with gameplay, which a lot of people thought it looked pretty bad. And I can't defend it because they're right, it was not good. That being said, with the gameplay reveal for level 1, it's not great, but in terms of story, it is very interesting that it's led up to you stopping Solus, but unfortunately, you stop the ritual trying to stop him, but in doing so, you unwittingly create the problem that you and your group must solve in Veilguard. And I think that's very interesting, especially that Solus isn't the big bad, there are multiple. But for my hype levels, I wasn't really that guy. And if this was like, say, almost 10 years ago, or just after Dragon Age Inquisition, I would have been so hyped for Veilguard. But after Mass Effect Andromeda, which really hurt my soul, at the time I liked the game, but then more playing it and just doing it over and over and over again. Why should I care?
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
One ugly motherfucker.
And then Anthem got announced, and I was very interested. This is a new IP, and I thought it would have been a really good RPG with like flying and awesome third-person shooter action. Then it was announced that it was a live service game, and I was like, okay, that's alright. Bioware has done live service MMOs, sort of like Star Wars The Old Republic. Now, I didn't like where the story went in terms of what they did with Revan and all that, but I thought it was fine. But the detail that let me pause for thought, and the fact that I didn't buy it at all, is because of one thing. No romances. Now, I know this may seem like a very stupid thing to complain about. However, in terms of romances, Bioware has done some of the most well-written romances ever, and they have created iconic characters. Love is an important part of the Bioware formula. So when I heard that, it wasn't the fact that, oh, we weren't getting sex scenes. I couldn't care less. What I care for is meaningful relationships and development of characters. And the fact that they were moving away from romances seemed like they weren't really focusing on the characters. Now, was I being a bit, stupid and blinded? No, it wasn't that. But it seemed like they were drifting away from what Bioware great. Whereas Bioware before was very much on stories and branching paths and relationships. With Anthem, it did feel like they were caught in the EA grind of live service. It wasn't all EA's fault. It was actually Bioware, as there was a structural problem that so happens to disrupt Bioware from that big pedestal that we love.
You backstabbing rat! You sold us out! I never should have trusted you!
This is boring!
So a lot's been riding on Dragon Age the Veilguard. So when they released that teaser trailer, it was bleak. It was terrible. But then they released the gameplay footage at level 1, which was a big mistake, but they released it anyway. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't gravitate to it. A lot of people criticized the gameplay looking very last gen, looking terrible, and I can't fault them for that because everyone just piled on it because it looked bad. And yeah, it looked terrible at level 1. I was hoping we can get some level 50, level 30 gameplay. And sure enough, we did in the coming weeks, as just recently they released gameplay footage of level 30, and it looked decent, but we'll get into that later. And so, that brings us to the release date trailer. And for my money, that was a really good trailer. Now, I know it's just a release date trailer, but we got to see more story, we got to see more of the characters, we got to see fan favorite Morrigan return to the franchise. And I think that this, if they opened with this teaser trailer than the first one, it would have been a much different conversation in terms of how we view Dragon Age the Veilguard.
I'll be damned. A griffin.
In war, victory.
But like I said, this trailer focused in on the story and it hinted at relationships. We got a bit of gameplay finishing, and while it looked a bit rough, it still looks pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I am very interested in how they're gonna pull it off is the fact that Scout Harding now has magic, and she's a dwarf, and in the Dragon Age mythos, dwarfs aren't really able to use magic. So I'm just worried that it's a girl who's the key to everything situation. I hope it's not that, because if it is, then it's just gonna be generic fantasy girl who is the key to everything and she is the bestest ever. I hope it's not that. I hope that it's her and a bunch of dwarves that have this magical energy, and she's not the girl who's the key to everything. I hope it's just on a general level that dwarves now have magic, and how do they deal with this in this society where they didn't previously have magic. I think that would be a very interesting concept to go through. Also, I must say, the fact that they picked this male Rook, I mean, for a release date trailer, he looks really good. I mean, that is the sort of Chad energy that we need for Dragon Age. Like, my god, look at that man. Look at that man.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Another thing that I'm a bit saddened about is the designs for the demons. Now, I know that a lot of demons, you know, have this weird thing when you peel back the skin, and I don't really like the design for the demons in Dragon Age the Veilguard. They look a bit too cartoony. Like, the one image that pops into my mind is in the release date trailer, and it's towards the end where we see this ogre thing, and I get it, there it's just trying to show the skeleton of the ogre, but it just looks like Mickey Mouse on crack. Like, look at it. It looks terrible.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
But besides that criticism of the design of Dragon Age the Veilguard, I think it was a very effective trailer, and it got me vaguely interested in it, as I think it would be at least the best Dragon Age game, or the best Bioware game, since Inquisition, hopefully even Mass Effect 3. Now, this finally brings us to the gameplay reveal that just came out recently, and I will say, it looks good. Now, I will say it's not a tactical game. We're not getting Dragon Age Origins levels of gameplay, which sucks, because I think Origins had the best combat system. A lot of newer fans think it's not as good, but for me, Origins was that peak gameplay. Tactically, it was sound, and the characters, the story, it was well written, and Origins is bar none my favorite game in the franchise. However, looking at the gameplay as its own thing, it's pretty damn good. It looks very much like that sort of cinematic sort of gameplay, but it has a very tactical element to it. It's more or less an evolution of the Mass Effect games, and for my money, that's good. I mean, I don't like how they're Mass Effectifying Dragon Age, but if it's good combat, and as long as the story keeps me engaged, I am happy with it, as it looks fun. As a game, I would want to buy it. On higher levels, you have access to more skills. In this case, the gameplay is a female warrior, and she has a sword and a shield. That's awesome, and she even does some Captain America flinging, which I find very entertaining.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all.
Had they released this instead of the gameplay reveal trailer of level 1, or what they should have done is they should have had level 1 gameplay and then level 30 gameplay. I feel like they should have done that to at least show the fact that how you progress and how the gameplay evolves turns into a much more fun experience. The gameplay looks fun, and I'm looking forward to playing it now. I mean, sure, the design, I can't stress this enough. I'm not a really big fan of the art style that they're going for. It's very much like Inquisition, or a bit heightened than Inquisition, and I wasn't a fan of Inquisition's style either. I think that Dragon Age Origins had like the best style, and considering that is a very older game and it looks not as good as, say, one of these modern games, I feel like the art style in Origins holds up very well compared to, say, its contemporary counterparts. But excluding the art style, I think that gameplay-wise, it is very different from Origins, and that's fine, as long as the story and the characters are good, and that's all I want. I mean, sure, is it different? Yeah, but it looks like fun gameplay. It's less tactical than, say, I don't know, Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age Origins, but I do think that as long as this is a fun game, then it should get people talking that Bioware is coming back with another great game. My only worry is I hope this game doesn't appeal to modern audiences and just sticks to trying to appeal to an audience, where people can come in, play the game, enjoy it, and then leave. As long as the game is fun and gets people engaged, I'm pretty sure fans and new fans come in and say, that was a good game, I want more. Because if I'm going to be completely honest, if this game fails, I don't think that we're going to get Mass Effect 5, which would be a shame because I think Mass Effect 5, I want that. Because I don't think Dragon Age the Veilguard would be a suitable swan song for Bioware. I feel like it would be a bit poetic to have Mass Effect 5 be its final game into the 4A. Now, I want Bioware to continue if they make quality games, but if we're going down the path of mediocre or just terrible games, then I don't want that. I want to remember the good of Bioware. Games like Mass Effect 1, 2, and even 3, Dragon Age Origins, Inquisition for that matter. I want to remember Bioware at its peak with Knights of the Old Republic. I love what Bioware was. But as it is now, it is in a rocky place with releases like Andromeda and Anthem, with Veilguard having a very controversial first teaser and first gameplay reveal. It is very, very stressful to think that Bioware could be gone, and it is one of my childhood companies that I remember playing. I used to love playing these games. And the fact that this could be the last Bioware game, it scares me a little, because then, well, I won't have anything to look forward to from a company that I used to love so dear. I hope that this game appeals to a wide range of people, and I want this to be a good game. Just no ifs or buts. I want this to be a good game. However, we'll have to find out, as in the coming weeks we'll get more of gameplay reveals. I think this week, as of recording, we will be getting more companions. We'll be getting more details on our companions, which I feel like this is good, because when we learn more of the companions, what their storylines will be, it will be able to sell me more in the game, because I want to know more about these characters. I don't mind. They've already fixed the gameplay in my mind. For me, I think the gameplay looks fun, and I can't wait to play that. But I'm still iffy on the story and characters. So if they sell me on that, I will be sold. But let me tell you, as of right now, I'm looking forward to the game. It looks fun, and I really need a good RPG. I've been playing a bit of Baldur's Gate. That's been fun. But I need a classic Bioware game. The world of Dragon Age, the world of Mass Effect is fantastic. Now, just show me more story and characters. Come on, Bioware. We need this. Oh, and one of the best things about this game is that it's probably the most player-friendly game EA has released in a fair while, as a lot of the pre-order bonuses are cosmetic only, which is insane, as well as if you can buy it on Steam, and you don't even have to connect to the internet because it is a single player game only. And so that means if you have no internet, you can still play the game on Steam. And another great thing is that you don't need to connect it to the EA app, which is absolutely amazing. This is probably the best thing that EA has done for Bioware in quite a long time. And it is great to see that Bioware is able to make a player-friendly game in 2024 of all years. I might actually stream the game, but I'm not too sure at the moment. If you guys think I should, I'll definitely do it. If not, then I might just play the game and give you my thoughts on it. The only other game I'm looking forward to this year with such high pedigree is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but that's in December. Of course, there's games like Space Marines 2, which I'm very looking forward to, but, I'll definitely play Space Marines 2 before I do Dragon Age, because release date and all that. But, this is a game that I'm looking forward to. I wasn't looking forward to when I saw that goddamn teaser trailer or that level 1 gameplay, and I'm cautiously optimistic for Bioware's latest game. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Hear me just mumble through all this. I mean, I just want what's best for Bioware. I love these games, so as long as I get another good one, then I'm set. I'll be a happy boy. But anyway, I just want to let you know, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate the love. And if you want to support me further, you can always visit my Twitter or press the bell icon. You can always do that. And hey, if you want, check out my last video. It was a review on Alien Romulus, that movie that I was thoroughly disappointed in. But anyway, that's, that's in the past. Alien Romulus is in the past. For now, this is a game video, so I'm looking forward to Dragon Age the Veilguard. If you want to hear more from me, please always subscribe, and thank you all for being with me on this journey. I'm definitely going to be making more videos on Dragon Age the Veilguard, so maybe not after the Companions, maybe in September, where they release more of the game. Because according to the roadmap, IGN has a lot more details on the game. So I will be looking forward to covering that in like a month's time. So if you are a Dragon Age fan or a Mass Effect or a Bioware fan, subscribe, and I'll pop back in about a month. Or, who knows, if the companion trailer is really good, then I'll talk about it then. But as always, I wanted to say thank you all for coming in. Take care and have a good one.
You and me, Rook. Maybe that's what scares me.
So, you gonna put your sword away before dinner?
Shit, you can see that?